What's up, guys? It's the Brazilian brothers with MACkiteboarding, and we're back here with these two legends of the sport. They need no introduction, but obviously we have Ralf here on my left and Aaron here on my right. And today it is all about the Harlem's first surf kite.
Jesus, yeah.
So we were talking about this before, and this is the first surf kite that you've ever developed, right? And then you went up to some people and you asked them what makes a good surf kite, and everyone gave you a different answer. So now that you've developed the flow, why, and what actually makes a good surf kite is what I want to get.
Oh wow! Okay, this is a couple of different questions. What is going to make a surf kite? This is something I cannot answer 100%. There are some theories about that. And as you said, I have been talking the last 2 years to a lot of people from the industry, a lot of writers, a lot of influencers, a lot of magazines. And let's say I talked to realistically 20 people and I got 20 different answers. And of course you can group these answers. This is absolutely no question. You can say like there's maybe 3 general groups about it. But ultimately it depends on where you are, what you want, like which board, which wave conditions, what kind of wave, where is the wind coming from. So it is technically not possible to make the wave kite, which is perfect for all these conditions out there. It is just possible to make a kite which suits most of these conditions in what we think the best possible way. So making a wave kite was everything but easy. I can tell, really, like, and I also have been working on this since, decent 2 years now. Constantly, I made a couple of different design strategies and philosophies. We tried them all. Ultimately, we came up with I think a very, technically very clean concept, maybe, Aaron, can we say that? That's a very clean concept of like how the flow actually also looks. Aaron likes it because it reminds him very much on his old MACkite days, pretty much, which is the opposite from what an old MACkite actually looks like. In many, many ways, it's like fully bridled. For example, there's like 8 attachment points on the leading edge, which is a lot. There's like very little segments to really make the frame very stiff, which then on the other side gives you other design advantages, like making huge tip areas, for example. But yeah, like your initial question, like there was a lot of different questions. What is making the best wave kite? I can only tell that we, like, especially from the designer's point of view, Aaron, myself, from the Harlem point of view, we think we came up with a very good solution where we think it's going to attract a lot of wave riders, but also additionally customers which are actually looking for a very intuitive, very easy to use all-around kite as well. Yeah, I think I would describe it this way.
Actually, that's what I was gonna go with. This is obviously you started with straps, right? Then boots.
Actually, directional, so it's the original. So full circle.
It is a full circle.
Full circle, and now you're coming to strapless. I saw you're actually in Brazil, and again, this is a package, right? You have the surfboard and the surf kite. And I've seen you having fun out there in the strapless with the surf kite. How was that transition between straps into this sort of new surf package? And do you think that this is a kite that's not only gonna suit people who are already into the strapless game, but who's also gonna bring people who maybe are used to riding straps into actually trying to go strapless for the first time?
Yeah, it's a bit of a different. I mean, I've always had my hand in wave riding and understood it to a point, but also for me, it was quite a steep learning curve to really deep dive into what it needs to be. So I also had a lot of opinions, a lot of friends, guys on the tour, what they look for in the wave ride, in what they look for in the kite, and then for the board was also another whole huge learning curve, and trying to match them two up in a certain way. But speaking about the kite, I think it's more almost better to come from another angle of what the kite does, how it feels and how it works, because we've also ridden it on twin tips. We've ridden it in full-on Cape Town conditions. We've ridden it in, 10 to 15 knots to test the low end, on a surfboard, on a big board, on a small board. So we really try to figure this kite out on how it works across the board. And what we figured out is, we cannot pinpoint a certain type of kite down to what a wave rider should do. Here in Cape Town, you have dead cross-shore wind. You want the kite to either, drift, or you want it to turn like on a sixpence, really, really tight turn without much power. You obviously want to have connection when you're depowered, but you also want to have sheeted go. So there's just so many things. It's like, it's just a bit of a minefield. But in the end, we came up with a kite that is just intuitive and easy to use, basically. It means you can put the kite wherever you want. It means you can, we've had some fun sessions even on the twin tip. Like, I would never think that I would take this concept in this, category of kite and, okay, I want to push the levels if it's strong winds with a peak and go hard and explosive. But when I think to somebody who's coming to Cape Town for the first time and it's harsh, it's hard, it's gonna spank you, Like, if you take this kite, the loops are not very aggressive. You pull the bar, your timing doesn't have to be exactly perfect. You sheet in, the kite pulls you up. So it does a lot of things easily, and that's with a twin tip. And that's what we figured out. Like, everybody has a different surfboard. There's a lot more customization, but in the end, it can be onshore in Europe, it can be sideshore, it can be cross-off in Cape Verde. Like, what do you do? So the kite is light, it drifts, it's agile, it's easy to position, and like, we just came to a point where, like, I've been blown away with it, honestly, because I'm always chasing this high-end performance and always giving Ralf, come on, we need to jump higher, the kite needs to shoot harder, it needs to loop better, and we're always on that side, and then to actually step back and for Ralf to come up with a brand new concept. I mean, it's been in your mind for years, but really when we had to come down to it, you were able to figure this out in a few revisions and get it to a point ready for the market. It's very impressive, like what has come out from it. So,
Really good. And I think that this is a good segue to my next sort of point to you, which is, I'm sure you've heard 100 different things by 100 different people of what the surf kite should look like. For me, a surf kite has to be easy to relaunch, has to be very stable, has to spin really fast, and you have to have a lot of depower. And actually, when I think of it, the Thrive has a lot of these characteristics. So this might be a stupid question, but on a design perspective and on somebody who's watching this, how would you recommend, like, what are the main design characteristics and from the Flow as compared to the Thrive, and how should somebody be looking at them when they're deciding between those two kites? Because it sounds like it's a kite that's going to be really good with a strapless board on your feet, but that if you bust out the twin tip, you're also not going to be disappointed. So how do those two things equate?
So the Thrive is a high-end three-strut, like high aspect, high performance three-strut kite, which was always intended to push two things, like jumping ability and looping ability, like handling plus the ability of really boosting high as possible. Where the Flow, the main point, as Aaron explained, is the ease of use. It is way easier. I mean, there are some aspects on the Flow where we are absolutely blown away. Like, really, like where we say, like, okay, if we could technically get these kind of round, easy, nice turning ability into a Thrive, Jesus, that would be the thing. Technically, it's not possible because the concepts are very far away from each other, and there is no such thing than one kite fits it all. It's completely stupid. I have to repeat myself. It's not possible. We can just make the kites fit perfectly into the intended niche. So I would say that, the Flow is a kite, depending on the conditions you're in, which has definitely way better damping ability.
What does that mean?
Damping means like you're hitting a gust and you don't notice it. Yeah, so the kite actually just like absorbs these like spikes, the gust, these typical Cape Town conditions way better than a Thrive does. Is it something good? Yes, if you want to have a damped kite. You know, if you just don't want it, if you want to cruise along instead of being like always, the kite is not screaming at you. Yeah, but on the Thrive, the intention is that the kite actually screams at you and say like, jump now. Now, there's a gust, jump now. Really, this is like on a paraglider. You do that when a paraglider needs to have the ability to show you if it's worth climbing into a thermal. We call it like it's biting into the wind, it's biting into the thermal. The Thrive does that. The Peak does that even further. It just bites and shoots into the gust and tells you, hey, that's a good point now, you should jump. Where the Flow is just basically saying like, yeah, it's a gust, you can jump whenever you want, but it is not that spiky. And this is something we totally enjoy. Because it's amazing, actually. You know, it's just smoothing and flattening things out. And on the waveboard, this is one of the most important aspects, especially for strapless waveboard riding. Because imagine you would always be pulled off the board in every gust. And we have a lot of gusty conditions out there, also on the tour, on the wave tour. So it's all about making it damped. And I think, that is, for us, I would say, Aaron, this is like, technically, that is the handling and the damping ability is the most impressive.
Yeah, I think when you put it in your hand, it's just so smooth. I think that's also like a really key word. It's like incredibly smooth in the way it turns, the way how round it is, the sheet-in pressures, the bar pressures, steering pressures. It's very well balanced, and yeah, you just jump on it and it's very easy to use. And like, it's a low aspect kite, it's more boxy. It has like insane low end as well, which I think is nice because most wave riders want to size down, just get up on the board. And yeah, you would think, oh, then the kite's sitting low, it doesn't have performance, but it's crazy. Like this kite, the depower ability is huge. The kite still shoots into the window and sends you upwind like the rest of the Harlem kite. So that whole combination was pretty impressive, I would say. So, and yeah, we also figured out, like, as we talk about the packages and everything and how everything suits each other, we have two different types of twin tips, small twin tips, the launch and the ascent, and they have different characteristics, and we're looking at always improving the directions. And yeah, we found out that the Flow is less sensitive to the speed of the board, you know? And that also may be a bit of a misconception, like, oh, the surfboard is a light wind thing, but surfboards I found also have quite a lot of rocker in some cases as well. So yeah, they're more buoyant, but you also have a bit more drag. So to have that more range for the different types of surfboards, it also helps it fit to more different surfboards. And again, we designed the surfboard that we are providing and gonna create to do a certain specific job and fit with the kite. But we're also aware that it's more customization on this side of things, you know.
And then, sorry, like one question was like the water relaunch. Due to the fact that this kite is low aspect, it's quite boxy, it has not auto relaunch functionality, but you have to do a lot of things not to relaunch the kite. Let's put it this way. It's just like, of course, it's in the nature, yeah, which is also like pretty much not the opposite. A Thrive is also easy to launch, relatively, but in direct comparison, the Flow has an instant water relaunch. You basically just look at the bar, then you grab the bar and the kite will launch.
That's very good. I think that's something that is good, not just for someone who's surfing, but to anybody who wants a kite. That's the worst thing when you're out there trying to get it up and you can't get your kite up, right? That's terrible. Obviously, there are some very good wave kites in the market.
Yeah.
One that comes to mind is the Neo by Duotone, and there's many others.
Yeah.
Why should somebody be looking at the Flow in comparison to some of the other surf kites in the market?
Well, that could be a very straight, easy answer to that. No, to be politically correct, I think we created a very good package. And if you like it or not, you have to decide. It's not up to us. Yeah, it's like that is very simple. We have a certain philosophy, the way we are creating the products since the last 15 years. And I think a lot of people out there actually do know like which products have been involved into this philosophy. And I would claim that, yes, the Flow is definitely our first dedicated wave kite. But I'm curious what you're going to say about it. We are very happy with these characteristics. And as I mentioned, we are actually blown away from some of these characteristics and also coming from the water and saying like, we would not expect having so much fun on that kind of concept, because we are like, I'm not a dedicated wave rider. I mean, Aaron is definitely good enough to go on the world tour, I have to say. So annoying, absolutely shocking, actually. It's not fair, Aaron, by the way, you know. However, we have, I look, of course, a little bit from the overall ease of use, as I said, and performance side. And it's with everything else. You should try it. You know, like that's what I can say. Try it and make your own opinion about it. But I think there's good potential chance of surprising a lot of people out there with this concept.
Yeah, especially I think if we always try and make the kites fit into our range as well. And there's a certain DNA in the products, which is very direct. And of course, we don't please everyone. And people who try the kites, they may need to adapt or whatever. But there's always this very direct, ease of use, intuitiveness, fast reactive steering that we try to keep throughout. And maybe other kites maybe lose that a little bit when you go in that direction of concept. And I think this somehow hit the balance of striking both very, very well. So yeah, that's another thing. And I think it's, it just needs to get on the market and see what people think. But yeah, I'm quite confident people will be quite surprised by what has come out. Yeah.
I mean, talk about being surprised. I don't think Ralf was exaggerating, because we're in Tatajú, but I saw you when I think you had a prototype on your feet, right? And you just jumped up. You did like a Kailu board off with a strapless Kailu board off. You just landed it so easy. I was like, I mean, come on, this guy, he can't be good at everything, right? There has to be something that he's bad at.
It's not fair. I can tell you it's not fair.
I'm sure you have to deal with this every day, right?
You should consider stopping this, you know? Like, not to annoy everybody else on the beach.
Yeah, come on, it's got to be something. But in the context of a package for you, why does it make sense for somebody who's looking at buying this kite to also buy the board that comes with it?
Yeah, well, the board is going to be quite interesting. It's something coming to the market that has not been really done before, I would say. It's a new concept of construction. So that's quite interesting. It allows us to really focus on the flex pattern and keeping the weight down. And yeah, it's just something we want to add to the portfolio as well, having a surfboard. And okay, we're starting again with a short board, hybrid, medium-sized wave, like a short board performance kind of board, which is very all-round, basically. So we want something that can work here in Cape Town, can work in onshore choppy conditions in Europe. So again, it's, I think the feeling that I have with a kite in my hand, with a board on my feet, of course, that experience, we've grown over so many years with a twin tip, but it can be translated into other products as well, like just being able to reference things in different conditions. So with the surfboard, tried a bunch of different ones. We tried to come up with a concept that would fit the kite and fit into the market now. I think the wave riding, the direction of wave riding in the sport is changing. which means a lot of companies had a big range of boards, and probably more people are seeing that they're condensed in their range and really focusing in probably three key areas, really strapless or really bigger wave down the line. And then there's this middle ground, which is a bit of an all-rounder, let's say. So we put our energy in there first. What we want from a board is something with tight turn-in, snappy, loose, playful. On the wave, for instance, here, if it's 1, 2, 3 meters in Cape Town, then it needs to work. But we also want a board that's comfortable during riding. You can jump on it. If it's a bit choppy, you're out the back. You want to be able to be comfortable as well. It might be in Europe. My home spot is mushy waves. You have to use a bit more the Kite to, there's not the same power behind it, in Europe. So, like I say, it's so vast, different conditions. We try and come up with something that suits the board and is perfectly together and can suit as many people as possible. And then, again, it's new for us, and we're bringing it fresh to the market. We have to see what the people think about it, and then we can maybe expand in one way, go in the other way, and we're always adapting. So that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Any last words?
Well, I think we try to please you guys out there. Like, this is pretty much what we do. It's clear that we are following a philosophy where, as I said before, we really try to make sure that you have the most fun on the water. Yeah, and the ease of use and making these things as consistent, as intuitive as possible is everything but easy. I can tell you, nothing is easy if it feels easy. This is basically, it's hard work and a lot of dedication. So we are quite stoked about what we have been creating, and everything else, it's up to you guys.
Yeah, very well. I saw it in the water. I must say, the kite looks, it does look beautiful. Yeah. It is a very good looking kite. And of course, I can't judge how good it is because Aaron was riding it. So I can't really put my finger on it. But, we're usually riding a twin tip, but I think we're going to make an effort to actually bust out the strapless and to try it out in Brazil.
Do that, but also take your twin tip. This is what I said. I think maybe we found something which is a very good crossover. Up to you. You will tell me.
Okay, I'm all in for it. At the end of the day, I was thinking about this the other day. The first triple loop that was ever done was Lorenzo Casati on a Cabrini Drifter.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, that's
kind of like a mind blowing. I'm stoked about it. I think that there's a big market for a kite that is good if you want to take strapless, but also good for everything else. I'm excited to try and to get my hands on the board as well. But I again have to thank you guys for your time today. It's been amazing to hear about your philosophy for all this. And we have to, as always, ask you to subscribe to MACkite and to follow everybody, starting with
not everybody, but
everyone that's sitting at this very special table. Ralf here on the left, Brazilian Brothers, and Aaron, Hadlow on Instagram for more awesome kitesurfing content. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers.